Hi friends, today we are going to learn an important service in AWS which is related to security. So we in on-premises we use something called firewall. Like if you people are a little bit old in IT, you definitely would heard about firewall. So in AWS there's a service called AWS Firewall Manager. Now it supports AWS Network Firewall centralized deployment model. So you can manage the firewall in AWS with centralizedly for all your AWS accounts. So basically here we need to understand what is firewall is. So as we know, firewall blocks the ports and it protects your network traffic. Most of the hacking or malfunctioning or a lot of security problem happens in network layer. To ensure to protect the network, we usually have firewall. And in on-premises world, like before cloud, we use Cisco firewall, we use FortiGate. So there are different companies who provide this firewall layer. And there was a software firewall, hardware firewall. Like there's a hardware which comes with the firewall manager, or there is a software which we need to install, and then that software will help as a firewall manager. But here in AWS, now they have introduced this firewall manager as one service. So before going into this article, we will understand the firewall manager in high level. Okay, what is AWS Firewall Manager? Centrally configure and manage firewall rules across accounts and applications. So basically, you can have many number of AWS accounts or like SIT, UIT, production, or your accounts may be by your front end application, application A, B, C. So all this can be managed in one central location. So why we have to do that? Basically for security management. Okay, firewall service, a security management service, allows you to centrally configure and manage the firewall rules across your accounts and application. In AWS organization, AWS organization is again a service which we have discussed before as well, but the service is used to manage all the accounts from AWS. For example, you want to update any policy or you want to pay the bill, you can do it from AWS organization account. Like that service connects all your accounts, and AWS Firewall Manager also part of this AWS organization. As new applications are created, Firewall Manager makes it easy to bring new application and resources into compliance by enforcing a common set of security rules. Now you have a single service to build firewall rules, create security policies, and enforce them in a consistent hierarchical manner across your entire infrastructure for central administration account. Use Firewall Manager, you can easily roll out AWS WAF rules for your application load balancer, API gateways, and Amazon CloudFront distribution. You can create AWS Shield Advanced Protection for your application and load balancer, ELB Classic Load Balancer, or Elastic IP or CloudFront. So AWS Shield is used for DDoS protection basically. You can also configure new Amazon Virtual VPC security groups and audit any existing VPC groups for EC2s, application load balancer, ENI. So usually we will do this firewall in each layer. Like in EC2 is a VM, you want to allow HTTP port 8080 or 443, you will do that in security group. But instead of doing it in each EC2, if you have 100 missions, you have to do 100 times. That can be centrally managed by AWS Firewall Manager. And what is the benefits of using it? Simplify management of firewall rules across your accounts. Of course, you no need to go to each account, and then sometimes we forgot to do this in SIT and UIT infrastructure or lower environment. Ensure compliance of existing and new applications. So we should be compliant in access control to protect our application. So we can ensure, because in one place you can check whether that policy is applied and all the ports other than 8080 or 443 is blocked. Okay, that is another benefit. Easy deploy managed rule across accounts. The same thing again, because we use this managed rules kind of AWS WAF. It's no, it's application firewall, web application firewall used in front of all external traffic. Like for example, your load balancer is talking to your public internet, or your API gateway talking to your public internet, or your CloudFront talking to your public internet. We used to have this WAF to protect your system. But in this case, you can easily deploy this WAF from the central location as well to all the components which is facing your public internet. Centrally deploy protection for your VPCs. So VPCs is nothing but our network layer in AWS. So we can protect our network from central location. So, so I hope you guys understand there is a service available called AWS Firewall Manager, which can centralizedly manage our network firewalls. And recently there was a paper released where this is where I was reading. So AWS Network Firewall. Okay. So AWS Firewall Manager allows you to deploy a component called AWS Network Firewall to inspect the traffic using a centralized deployment model. Previously, Firewall Manager could deploy AWS Network Firewall only in decentralized deployment model, where we deploy AWS Network Firewall into each VPC which requires protection. With this release, customer can now use Firewall Manager to deploy AWS Network Firewall in either in a distributed deployment or in a centralized model. So basically, they have updated new feature to it to deploy a network firewall. This will inspect all the traffic from your AWS accounts and how it is reaching. So basically, VPC flow log is something we used before. Now it is it is there in each and every account. If you have five accounts, you have to go to each and every account to see the traffic. Now you can, from centrally, you can monitor the network traffic. So that is one key benefit to protect your infrastructure. And then if you see, the firewall manager security acts as a central place to configure and deploy your firewall rules, which across. So this is something we already read. And also this AWS Shield, VPC for DNS across your entire organization. So you can monitor the networking rules or the policy for these services, like application firewall or shield. VPC is your VPC security group is your nothing but your network security, where you allow or disable port. Firewall, DNS also you can monitor. So all this you can monitor from one single location. So guys, security is key part of your infrastructure, and if you are running your workload on cloud, we security is the shared responsibility model between us and the vendor, AWS or Azure or Google. They take care of the infrastructure, but of course the application security lies on the responsibility lies on us. So that is why it is very important to know about the new services in security layer or security zone. So today that's why I bring up this topic, to make sure you are aware of this service and just try it out or test it out about it and read it. It might be useful for your infrastructure with many different AWS accounts if it is you are managing the overall cloud operations or cloud security. Thank you guys. See you. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.